Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to make an incline side fan fold. So today we have a package from Scott Walker and Kelly K. Walker. That's how you'll find them on Facebook. So let's just open this up and see what we've got. Definitely don't want to tear a hole in a shirt. Let's see if I can. So you guys know Scott Walker. He's in our group. He's now our moderator. Oh boy, look at this. Oh, I'm so excited. Beautiful. Look at this. Wow. That is stunning, Scott. Thank you so much. Wow. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Look at that. Let's see. We have a card here. Cute little sticker. I like this sticker. You didn't put it on real tight, so I'm gonna put it on my ice machine. I'm collecting stickers like a little kid again. Let's see what we have in here. So you're gonna find Scott and Kelly. Scott made these shirts, I believe. Kelly is his wife. So Rad Dyes. So I had to write this down. So Scott and Kelly have Instagram also. So make sure you go over to Instagram and click follow. We need to support one another, you guys, and it's really important to have those follows. Like I said, we need to support one another. So I wrote this down. It's rad_dyes 26101, and Scott said he might work on trying to change that so it's a little more easy to find, but I'll put the information up on the screen. So let's take a look. And then Facebook, Rad Dyes. Make sure you follow his page. So it says, "You don't know how much we appreciate all you do for the tie-dye community. We would not be here progressing and running a business without you. This is just a little token to say thanks. We sure hope you like it. Love, Scott and Kelly Walker." And yes, I do love it, and I'm happy that I was able to inspire you along with everybody else on YouTube to help teach in your tie-dye journey. So here are some business cards, and let's just take a look. So West Virginia and a phone number. I do need to get some business cards, but I can see the pattern in there. I love these. These are absolutely gorgeous. You guys have been seeing Scott's work in our Facebook group. I mean, look at how stunning that is. Absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look at this one. Also very gorgeous. Just so beautiful. I wonder what colors these are. I'm sure they're probably the single color icedye. Is this the Stormy Skies? Are they both Stormy Sky? Beautiful color splits. Gorgeous pattern. Very talented. So thank you so much, Scott and Kelly. I absolutely love this. Again, you guys, go into Facebook. You're already in our group, Belladonna Dyes Community Tie-Dye Group. But then go find their business page, Rad Dyes, and make sure you click follow. Like I said, we got to support one another. Just those one little click that takes us 2 seconds to do means all the world. Thank you so much, you guys. I love it, appreciate it. Beautiful, stunning, absolutely gorgeous work. I'll have to get down to the bottom of which dye this is. They look different to me, but that's just it with tie-dye, you know? It could be the same exact color, just different application that particular day, different ice, different whatever, and I love it. Thank you guys so much. Start by smoothing out as many wrinkles as you can. You want to have a nice, smooth surface to work with. And I really analyzed Scott's shirt to try to make it exactly like his. So using a washable marker and kite string, I mark out my pattern. And it looks to me like this is about 4 to 5 inches down from the underarm where you want to have your center point. Looks like it's time to finally break down and get a new box of washable markers. I've had this box since the very beginning, so I've had it for about 3 years. And you don't necessarily need to mark out all of those lines. I just like to do this. It helps me stay on track. You could just draw out your first line and dive right in and start pleating that. I'm not exactly sure how Scott makes his. I've seen some posts in the Facebook group, but he has not given me like a private tutorial or anything like that. So now I'm pleating up my shirt, and I'm starting out really small because as you work your way down the shirt, the pleats are going to become taller and taller. So I'd say these pleats are about a 1/2 inch tall. So they're going to get really small and disappear into the beginning of the shirt. You can only make pleats so small before they just like run into each other and turn into nothing. And then down when we get to the end of the shirt, they're going to be a little over 1 inch tall. So that's why I like to start out just a little ways from the beginning, because it just helps me with the pleating. And the whole goal for this shirt is to have one continuous pleat from the very beginning of the shirt all the way down to the end. No secondary pleats are going to be added. For this project, I'm going to be tying it off by using Sinew, which I normally don't do. You guys have watched me make side fan folds before, and I just quickly tie them off with rubber bands mostly, but I also do use kite string from time to time. By looking at Scott's shirt, I can tell that he has used Sinew because at the very beginning of the shirt there is a white circle, and then just here and there there's just a very, very tiny amount of a white line. So I can tell that he has tied it off with Sinew, but he has not tied it off very tightly because there aren't white lines. So that's exactly what I'm going to try to do with this one. Just loosely tie it off with Sinew. Now right now I'm using a tool that I got from boredomwithjen.com. It's a pleating tool, and it really is helpful, especially down here at the beginning of the shirt where the pleats are very tiny. It's hard to make pleats that small. So I just use that to try to like make the grooves in the pleats, and it works out really well. Somebody in the Facebook group was asking me about these tools. I don't exactly remember who, but I hope you do see this tutorial so you can see how they work. And also keep in mind that there's 10% off at www.boredomwithjen.com for your purchase, and it's going to expire on the 31st of October. So October 31st of 2022, if you use the coupon code Belladonna, you get 10% off your purchase. So as I mentioned, I'm using the Sinew and I'm not pulling it very tight. And I'm going to make my Sinew lines every 2 inches. In analyzing Scott's shirt, like I really analyzed it, you guys. I measured everything out, and it looks like he's approximately about every 2 inches. The shirt that he made for me is a 2XL, and an XL is what we saw. And this shirt here, I believe, is also a 2XL. So I'm trying to make it exactly like his shirt. I want to take a moment to say a big thank you to Bonnie Snow. Thank you, Bonnie, for becoming my newest member to the YouTube channel memberships. I greatly appreciate it. Your proceeds are going to go back into the channel so I can continue to bring tie-dye to you and to everybody else. And for those of you that already are members, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. To keep everything nice and tidy, I'm just going to use a tiny baby hair rubber band just to keep that piece of fabric in line. Now I'm going to work on the back half of the shirt. And remember I said one continuous pleat from the very beginning all the way to the end. Now this is not hard to do, but I'm usually not this particular with my pleats on these side fan folds. I just sort of like pleat them up, do the best I can, and get on with it quick and easy. It took me about 45 minutes to fold up this shirt, which is about a good solid 30 minutes longer than I normally spend. So I was really trying to be very meticulous with this one. So be patient with me, you guys, but I'll tell you, it really does pay off in the end if you take your time and do a good job. Pleating your shirt is the foundation for the entire project, so the better you do at this step, the better the shirt's going to look in the very end. Also, not only am I making my pleats, but I'm also trying to keep my orange lines straight, and they're really hard to see because the pen was dried out. Now, my sinew puller needed to be refilled, so I'm putting this in because I want to show you how quick and easy it is to wind your sinew puller and just get on with the project. So here it is in action. It is sped up just a little bit, just because I was going pretty slow with it, but all you do is start your sinew puller with a couple wraps of the sinew, put your drill in there, and then go slow it at the beginning and then speed it up once you feel comfortable with it. And really, in less than a minute, your sinew puller is rewound and you're ready to just get back to tying whatever you're working on. Just quick and easy. I absolutely love and adore every single sinew puller and matching caddy set that I have from Jen. I'm not just saying that sincerely. I also have the other wooden sinew puller, which is a beautiful puller and it's great. And by the way, it does fit in the caddy. So if you have the wooden puller, you can get the caddy, because the caddy is what really makes the situation. It just winds up so quick and easy. It's a total game changer, you guys. And if you don't have one, I'm telling you, take advantage of that 10% off coupon code right now while it's still available. Tell your partners to order you one. Christmas is coming up. You want an early Christmas present. Take advantage of it, you guys. Remember when I first started that I said the pleats are going to get taller as we go on? They are considerably taller now. Really, I think they are well over an inch tall at this point. And when you're making your pleats, you really want to try to make them exactly the same height on each pleat. With ice dyeing, it's very forgiving. So if they're not 100% perfect, you're going to be okay. If this is going to be a liquid dye, them not being flat all the way across the top, it creates channels where the dye can run. But since we're not making a liquid dye right now, I'm not going to go into big detail. But I don't do a lot of pleating all the time. I mostly make a lot of spirals. You guys know that. And so, when you're working with your pleats, try to practice at getting better. You want to always just, with every project, try to take it to the next step, learn from your previous project, and get better with every one. So practice on making your pleats the same height all the time, and eventually you're going to get really good at it. So considering that I have not watched Scott make one of these, and so I don't understand his processes of why we're using Sinew, and actually, I mean, I could be wrong. Like maybe he only does the first wrap in Sinew and maybe the last wrap in Sinew, and the rest is tied up with kite string or rubber bands. I'm not 100% sure, but I can tell you at this point of tying the shirt, I am over it. Just like I'm sure some of you are watching this thinking like, I'm over watching it. But tie-dye is not made in 5 seconds, you guys. And so unfortunately, when it takes me longer to tie, the tutorial is going to be longer. But the outcome of the shirt is really beautiful, and it does pay off to take your time and be methodical about your pleats. So now I'm going to mark out where I'm going to place my dye using a washable marker, and I'm going in between each sinew line. And Scott does like small strips of dye, so that's what I'm going to do on this. And I've also seen some process pictures where he puts his dye on the shirt first and then adds it into his gutter. So like I said, I'm trying to do exactly what Scott does to try to get the same outcome for the shirt that he made me, because it's absolutely beautiful. Now, I don't have the color Stormy Sky, so I'm choosing the color that I love, which is Misty Rose. I give the project a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure, and I'm only adding the soda ash to where I've placed the dye. The shirt's already been pre-soaked in soda ash, so there's really no reason to add more to the white areas. And I'm going to very carefully pick it up and set it into my gutter. To have full control over this project, I'm using my big ice cubes from my dollar store ice cube trays. This way I'm able to place the cube directly on the die and I won't knock it into the white areas. I want to keep everything right where it's supposed to be. And I'm also adding the ice to the project while it's still flat. That way it's not going to roll downhill, knocking dye all over the place. These little pieces of foil are just little scraps that I had sitting on the table just to help me prop up the ice cubes. Now I'm very carefully going to place my gutter inside of my tote. So I have the bottom of the gutter down inside the tote and the top of the gutter is up over the tote. And I'd say the walls of this tote are about 6 inches tall, so it's not a very steep incline. And I'm just taking a paper towel to dab up that little drop of dye just so it stays put. Now I came back after the first layer of ice melted and there's just nothing on the back. So I decided that I'm going to flip it over and add more dye. And this time I'm going to add a wider stripe of dye and I'm going to go a little heavier handed. One thing I did not take into consideration when doing this shirt is my color choice was a poor choice. The pinks aren't, well, they're not really good for ice dyeing. They have a tendency to want to disappear and they're a lighter dye. Scott using Stormy Sky, it's a powerful color. It's a dark, rich color. And I should have done something more like in the purples that really packs a punch. So live and learn. Normally I don't flip my projects like this, and I'm not sure. I don't think Scott flips his either by looking at it, but I could be wrong. So again, Scott, this is where I'm going to need your feedback. Do you flip your shirt over or don't you? Now I'm going to give it another quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure, just to the areas where I've added the dye. And I'm going to add my ice. And this time I'm going to add a lot more ice. I want to get some movement in this. This color, Misty Rose, like I said, it's not a very powerful color, but it does have beautiful splits. That's why I chose it. It's got blue splits, yellow splits, and I wanted to see like a lot of colors in it. So now with the more ice, I'm hoping to get more dye movement. It's recommended that you let your project batch at 70 degrees or higher for at least 24 hours after the ice melts. I like to batch my projects for the full 48 hours. I want to make sure that the dye has the maximum opportunity to bond with the natural fibers. So 48 hours is the cutoff. The soda ash and the procion dye are no longer reacting after 48 hours. So now it's time for the rinse out, and you want to start by using cold water. That's going to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric, and then increase your water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. From here, I take it to the washing machine, and I like to do hot water cycles using Kirillon, and Kirillon is a professional textile detergent. And then I like to do a final hot water cycle using Millsoft, and Millsoft is a professional fabric softener. And I do have links down below in the description box for those items and everything else that I use for tie-dye. It just makes it easy for you to find. And then I'll put it in the dryer and I'll iron it, and we'll come back and we'll see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our Incline side fanfold after it's been washed and dried, and my shirt does not look anything like the inspiration shirts that Scott sent me. I mean, there is some similarities, like the tiny pleats and the one continuous pleat from start to finish. That's similar. And then where I started my the arc, I have it in the same place where Scott did it. But without having Stormy Sky from Pro Chemical and Dye, you know, it's kind of impossible to duplicate it. Misty Rose was not the best choice. It's a beautiful color shirt. Like, the shirt has an ivory hue to the entire shirt, and then obviously the Misty Rose and the pink. And there are some color splits. There's some blues and some yellows, but nothing like I was hoping. I should have used a much darker color for this. So I'm definitely going to do it again. And change things up a little bit, and then I'll get Scott's feedback and, you know, take his notes and improve on what I'm doing here. So don't forget to check out Rad Dyes. Go over to Scott and Kelly's Instagram and follow them over there, and go to their Facebook and follow their business page, and then you can find them in the Facebook group, Belladonna Dyes Community Tie-Dye Group. So overall, I'm very pleased with this shirt. So what do you guys think? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing!